It's really not just about farm to table, it's about soil to table. We realized that one of the biggest challenges, of course, was labor.
We have people pretty much from all over the places in the world.
It's a privilege to be on a farm, whatever scale it is. Why not grow all the sorts of things that you would like to eat yourself?
We love food, we love to explore.
That food would then be brought to a local pantry where it cannot be resold, but it has to be given away to people in need.
It sounds cheesy, but life. I mean, this is so full of life. You know, everywhere you see is something growing or thriving.
We are at Sobremesa, right?
Sobremesa Farm.
Sobremesa Farm. And how many acres do you guys have here?
9.
9 acres.
So this is the entrance to the market garden, which is called the East. So it has a lot of different varieties of vegetables, few fruit trees.
This is beautiful.
Thank you.
So what do you use this primarily for?
You know, permaculture mostly focus on perennials, but we need a source of income too to sustain the perennials. So the vegetables are important for the community, and so we have a market here at the farm on Sundays, CSAs, and also distribute the food through different pantries in town.
Okay.
Through people's cooperative market.
Okay. Very cool. How often do you harvest in here?
We harvest mostly when we need to deliver.
Okay.
So like
very fresh.
Today, very fresh. That's our goal, to provide 100% fresh food. So today we have a delivery, so we have been harvesting since early morning.
Okay.
Now about the layout, we have kind of rows as you see in paths, but we do a lot of interplanting. So is normally in some farms you only see a row of onions or chard or etc. So here it's all mixed, and in that way we keep all the soil diversified with the different roots, plants, and biology.
Okay. That's a good point.
Also, it really helps to interrupt the pest cycle.
That too, yeah.
Versus having just one long row of one crop, which is sort of an invitation once a pest finds it to encourage more to come. And by intermixing, you're allowing sort of this a way also to attract predatory wasp and predatory bugs that you want. They like to move about differently among crops, some on the ground, some through the air. You need to give spiders a chance to find a good ground cover to walk across where they feel safe, versus just soil that's completely bare and exposed, which we don't want. We want to always have some form of a cover crop, which is why we're not in there meticulously weeding all the time.
Yeah.
Really don't want the soil bare.
Yeah. The weeds are part of the system too. So I know a lot of people focus on removing them. We manage them, which is differently, because they provide also nutrients to the soil. As Robert mentioned, brings insects, and some of them are edible. So why we have to remove them?
Yeah, we've talked on previous farms that a weed is really just a plant that's where you don't want it. But they are there for a reason, whether they're detoxifying the soil, they're breaking it up with their large roots, they're getting their tap roots are going down to get the water. There's a reason why they're there. And I like what you said about managing them instead of removing them.
Yeah.
That's a really good point, to have a plant that you're working with the nature of the plant. So that's really cool.
This year we had issues with some of the fruit trees, so
Okay.
it wasn't that abundant, so we keep those for us.
Okay.
But normally we sell them too, yeah.
Okay.
They're quite popular, as well as cherries.
The chase. Okay.
Yeah. And those two there are mulberries, but we use them for coppicing. So you keep it the same height, and you use the green stuff for food. You could give it to the animals or for biomass.
Oh, so they're not for human consumption necessarily. They're for cover or
You could eat the
You could eat
leaves.
them? Okay.
Yeah.
Illinois ever-bearing, but the problem was they never bore.
Yeah.
Okay.
So after a few years, we said, okay, you've had a chance. Now we have to do something else with you.
Yeah.
Okay.
We call this the East Market Garden
Okay.
and the West Market Garden.
Okay, so you have two market gardens. Is that like the primary breadwinner of the farm? Or what would you say the level of income you get from your market gardens?
If we had fruits will be probably 60% and 40% the vegetables and the eggs.
Okay.
Problem this year was that we had so many frost early in the season. We had that at the end of April. We had a freeze also
May.
twice at the end of April and again in May, just a few days later. And that freeze lasted long enough that it really devastated all the flowers that were on the trees. And it was so warm in April. Everything totally woke up.
Yeah.
And so we ended up with absolutely no pears, peaches.
But I wouldn't say
apples. I mean,
none. There were few.
like 5 or
Like-
6.
None.
One apple.
Oh my
one
gosh.
apples.
One apple?
So
Yeah.
yeah, we lost all of that fruit. And of course, that's something that people look forward to in the fall. Eat apples, pears, Asian pears. We had beautiful Asian pears in the past.
And you didn't get any of those this year.
Nope.
Was that a loss to the farm?
Definitely.
Or
Yeah.
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 So you knew the frost was coming within a few days window. How did you prepare for that?
We didn't. We've tried that before,
Okay.
and even in a small orchard, it's quite a job because you have to purchase or borrow equipment that is going to spray the trees. You have to make sure it's spraying enough of the trees with water all night long, trying to create a protection layer on the tree.
Okay.
And this is what typically large orchards do. Now they do it with aerial water misting, with helicopters and things
Okay.
like that. So, and also the movement of all that air warms the orchard. So, but we don't have all of those things here. And we tried it one year with just equipment we bought on Amazon, and it really wasn't effective.
Significant.
Yeah, we had to get up regularly throughout that night and try to monitor it, make sure it was still running and the lines weren't freezing. And then
Not
we've tried like row cover cloth, draping the entire tree, wrapping, which is a lot of work.
Yeah.
It's on ladders and it's
Not worth it.
windy, and then they start blowing off and exposing parts of the tree. We're like, no. we're
So
not
it's
doing
like that would give you more of a loss than just letting nature say not this year.
Sure, because then it's income now you're spending or on labor
Yeah.
to do all of those things to prepare.
Yeah.
And then if one time's not enough, you have to remove the row cover cloth. Can't leave that on. If suddenly now the temperature goes up to 70,
Then
Which
you've
is
got an issue there.
you have
Yeah.
to remove it all, and then here comes another freeze. So no, it's too much to manage.
Yeah.
Go to the new project we have here that might be interesting
Okay.
for some. So the problem is this big area here was going to be a pond,
Okay.
but because of the topography, it leaks.
Oh.
So the solution was going to be or put bentonite clay
Okay.
or add liner to seal the pond. So
Okay.
both were very expensive, and the liner is just a body of water, but there is no life or integrated with the soil, so we didn't want that.
Yeah.
So we are turning that into terraces.
Okay. So you're terracing your pond.
Yeah, and
Where did you get this idea from?
well, I come from South America and other places. When you have big hills or slopes, so you need to grow food, so they terrace the area, and it has many advantages. So controls erosion, manage water, and also you have a space for growing food.
Yeah.
So we are going to use this for growing grains.
Okay. Can we go down a little bit further? and
Sure,
see
yeah.
How you want to do that?
Yeah. So for example, as you see, we're caving here and creating the bed or the terrace. Later we go down to create another one, the path, and the bottom holds some water, so that's going to be our wetland garden.
And there's funds to help with the cost of installing that, especially particular plants and things that you want to for the water to keep it clean through the NRCS.
Okay. So you're looking to get a grant. To do this? Okay.
With the wetland area.
Okay.
But we could not get a grant to do the terracing. It was so new. We tried to apply through Northeast SARE grant. We did submit an application, but the committee, when they looked at it, they really couldn't quite wrap their heads around what success we would have with that. So it was not approved. And we said, well, we'll go ahead and do it anyway. So when we got this land, there wasn't anything here at all. It was just pasture for animals.
Okay.
And so we hired an excavator to come in and dig 2 ponds. We wanted to have enough water, surface water, underground water, and rain catchment systems to ensure that we had water to help us through drought periods.
Okay.
And ponds can be typically used for something like that.
Right.
By pulling up water if you need to through a trash pump or what have you.
Right.
To water areas where it's critical. So he came and dug this. The mistake we made was not getting with the geological survey through the state. Every state has that essentially. They could help come out and possibly do some more deep probing to see what the soil content is.
Okay.
And we ended up in a karst vein from the limestone deposits that are in this area. And so we have
because this seems very clayey.
There's a lot of rock.
Yeah.
Oh.
So the clay is not really a problem. Some people have issues with clay. Actually, we like the clay because of the content of minerals and holds water too.
Yeah.
But yeah, the rocks, yeah, of course.
They create all of these fissures, which then water will not stay in here.
I see.
Now we have to try to improve this, building up more biomass and necromass beneath the soil level so that we can more reliably grow food in here, probably grains.
Okay. So you're going to keep terracing until you get to the middle here that I can see the water.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then you'll use the water for watering, or are you going to put food on the water too?
Well, the water will be part of the system. So we have ducks, so they will come here. They will probably walk and also provide some nitrogen to the bed. And that will attract birds. So to create a little ecosystem with a wetland and the grains that we're growing.
Okay. So I think that this is so cool and probably very relatable to other small farmers, not directly, but more indirectly, because you have a problem. You wanted a pond and it's not holding water. That's a common problem. But your solution is very set aside from the Western solutions, that even the people who are deep in agriculture on a committee to help small farmers said it's too foreign to us, we don't understand. That you're being very innovative here and you have a lot of out of the box thinking.
We try.
You try. And from our conversation before I got here today, when we were talking on the phone, you do that a lot here, where you encounter a problem and you don't just say your soil is not very fertile. You don't just throw NPK down.
Oh no.
You come up with a whole systems approach to fix it. And I think from a small farmer, part of that can feel very intimidating, but also very liberating, because you're like, well, it's nature. I don't know. It's just this whole system and it all works together. Let's keep doing that versus one straight line solution. So that is so cool. Just how innovative you are. I really, really love that. But this isn't the only part of the farm that you've done that, right?
No.
Where else have you done that?
Go to the Truffles.
Okay.
Yeah.
The Truffles. Okay. Yeah. Did you plant this here, the corn here?
That's sorghum, yes.
Sorghum, okay.
Yes.
You planted that here.
Yeah.
Very cool. So you're already trying to capitalize on the project.
We are, yes.
That's great.
So this small area here is where we had the truffles. We wanted to experiment because we are very similar latitude with some places in Europe that they grow truffles. So in similar climate. And so we said, let's give it a try.
Okay.
And here we are. We know we have the truffles. We need a way to harvest them. So you need a dog that can do the job, or a pig, but the pig will eat the truffles. So, and we're now talking to another person who has a farm and has truffles here in Indiana, that we might share dogs.
Okay.
So
Now-
that's the plan.
Forgive my ignorance, but what is a truffle?
It's a mushroom, let's put it that way.
Mushroom. Okay, I thought that. But
Yeah.
Okay.
It grows in the ground, attached to the roots of these trees here. These are European
Oh.
hazelnuts, or we have also European oaks.
Okay, so this is a hazelnut tree.
Yes, yeah.
And the truffles attach themselves to the roots.
Yeah, the roots, yeah.
And then you have to go digging for them.
Correct, yeah.
Whoa.
When we got the trees, they came with an inoculated spore
Yes.
of the black truffle on the roots already.
Okay.
So that's how they were able to, that's how you know that you have them here.
Okay.
And we have bald spots that are around the base of some
Yeah.
trees, which also tell you a sign that you've got them. And
What do you mean a bald spot? Can
Bald-
you point it out to me?
no,
Nothing grows under.
Nothing grows.
Yeah. So
Okay.
you see, so you have these little plants here, but
Oh,
when
but
you
like,
go down there, there is nothing growing.
okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. But it's still moss covered, so at least
Yes.
the ground is covered.
That's another sign that we have them.
Wow. That's really cool. Now, do all hazelnuts, you said it's inoculated, so can a natural hazelnut have a truffle on it?
We don't know.
Okay.
I guess so, but there are some of the sources for the fungus to grow, as well as the oaks.
Okay.
And
That's really cool. I had no idea. Why did you want to have truffles?
to make a simple answer is, we want everything we can.
Okay.
So, and truffles are really high demand in many places, restaurants, etc. So it would be a good income
Okay.
for us. But we love to eat, as you mentioned earlier, a lot of weird things. So that's why we grow a lot of variety of whatever we can.
Okay.
yeah.
You don't like having just the easy Indiana staples.
No.
You want the cool things.
Yeah, I think, it's a privilege to be on a farm, whatever scale it is. And so why not grow all the sorts of things that you would like to eat yourself? And you know where it's coming from, and you know how it's grown and how the soil is taken care of. Because it's really not just about farm to table, it's about soil to table. And so understanding what's happening in your soil around you is really important to know what's the nutrition level, what's the nutrient density of the food I'm going to be eating.
Mm-hmm.
Am I doing all the right things to improve the soil and to make it healthy and allowing all the microorganisms to thrive? Or am I just sort of going to the organic food store and buying organics and thinking it's all good? And we went through that sort of phase where we decided we would get organic certification. We did it 1 year, and our experience was that the NOP standards really allow a lot of things which we didn't believe in using.
Oh,
And
really?
we wouldn't want that on our food. And we thought, our opinion of organic label through the USDA has changed, as well as many others now in the country, which
Okay.
is why there's a movement to create other labels. People want more control over what's really going to be on their food, in their food, and they're thinking more about the nutrient density of the food, not just that it has a label of being organic.
Your focus here is growing what you would eat.
Beyond organic.
Beyond organic, beyond what you would get at a grocery store.
Growing a diversified amount of crops so that not only do you get to eat in a diversified way, not to overuse that, but it's true. And then also for your customers, the people that you want to connect with in the community are excited to be able to get things they don't normally get, perhaps, at just one market,
Yeah.
one farm.
It definitely keeps you marketable.
Yeah, I would add.
Yes.
I would add also. I mean, I'm from another culture,
Right.
so I'm used to different types of food that most Americans.
Not the
Yeah.
bland American diet.
Besides, Bloomington is a very diverse, town, city because of the university mostly. So we have people pretty much from all over the places in the world, and they come with their own habits or cultures, how they eat. We love food, we love to explore, and if we're able to provide some of those, how you say, staples or whatever for them to bring home and cook with them, we will be happy. So that way we share what we know, we learn from them what they know, and we create a really an extensive, table with all the diversity, textures, flavors, and also nutrients. Oh, but before, so this is the Milpa.
Okay.
This was Milpa, yeah. Milpa is a system too, similar with the Three Sisters.
Okay.
So, but the Milpa has even more. And Central America and Mexico is a good system to, use to grow a lot of things together.
Okay.
And you harvest through the season. And so right now, pretty much what is left is the squashes. And we got these, especially this one, through a grant that the company GreenCover.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and so that also part of the grant is you, at least 50% you provide that to your community for free. So we have been giving those too through the pantries.
You are growing food and giving half of it away to the food pantries in the area. How much more can you guys give? I just need to know, because I'm pretty sure that you guys are the most helpful people that I've ever met. It sounds like, for all the things that you do. That is amazing. That is really cool.
But we should give the credit to the company that provides the seeds for free too. So
they gave it to you for free.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it's a good mix, a lot of variety of things. So, and it's been a good year for beans, for example. We I don't know how many pounds, but a lot of pounds of greens we have harvested.
Yeah, this year was unusual for us. I mean, when you're starting a small farm, you really are trying to figure out what's my niche and what is it that I can do on this land, how much labor can I put into it, how much can I afford to hire out, how many farm associates can we employ, and how much time do we have to train. So there's a whole list of things you have to think about as far as administration, but this year was unusual in the sense that after we got through the first initial few years of really just trying to grow and create the farm and diversify it as much as possible, we realized that one of the biggest challenges, of course, was labor. And where were we going to get people who were really dedicated to actually getting their hands in the dirt, working hard, versus just this ideological idea about, oh, I want to be part of the earth movement, but then they really don't understand how much work is involved.
Yeah.
And so they leave after a short time, it doesn't work out, and then we're back at square one. We have to retrain, start over. We had been on our radar for the last 3 years. We really wanted to employ refugees. We knew that some of them were coming with a lot of farming practices, which we felt we could learn from, and also that we felt would be very beneficial here. And give employment to people who really needed it.
You just said that you wanted to find people that would work, but also that you could learn from.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What an awe-inspiring thing for an employer to say that, yes, I'm going to hire you and you're going to do these tasks for me, but also I require your expertise. And I want to learn from you.
Right.
That is a really cool concept coming from an employer.
Yeah, it's a give and take. I mean, both sides of it, and we wanted that. We realized that, we we really wanted people here who loved what they were doing and had done this for a while before. How could we encourage them to do this in a new country, a new growing region, a new type of climate that they were not used to? Because two of them come from a tropical area and the other one from a very arid area. And so it was quite different type of growing that they were used to, and more limited in many ways than what we were doing here. They didn't have the ability to do the diversification that we can do here. So,
But because I come from the tropics too, you grow food all year round. So you can't do that here.
Right.
Yeah. They had to learn about the changes, about how do you grow seasonally, how deep do you plant something and not plant it to make it successful, how much do you weed versus no weeding, and how are we going to help them to learn through this process and develop new habits for their new home.
Okay. What is it that you are asking from them?
Really, I think we're wanting to learn what are the things they already knew how to do. We figured that out in the initial interview process with the interpreter. What was the crops or the animals that they took care of in their home, in their homeland. So through that experience, we realized, oh, this one could be good perhaps at taking care of the goat hoofs,
Okay.
which is regular maintenance.
Right.
Or this one knows a lot about growing sweet potatoes.
Okay.
Or this one knows more about grapes or something like that. So we knew that they each had something special to offer, and we just needed to figure out what that was in the very beginning and then try to incorporate that into what we were doing, diversify their skill set as well, help them understand how to grow these types of annual crops. The food gets to a pantry just like it gets to a CSA member.
Okay.
Totally fresh, first-class food, not the seconds, not the unsellable fruit and vegetables, which often is what pantries are getting and what their end users are receiving. We wanted them to have first-class food, just like everybody else.
Yeah.
I mean, people who are going to pantries are really in difficult situations. They're dealing with a lot of family strife. They're dealing with unemployment issues. And so who better than them needs, a foot up with really healthy food?
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, you just in all the ways are helping your community, both local and worldly, with your refugees. Are we able to go talk to them and just say hi and ask them how much they don't like you?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sure they will have few things to say about that.
When we got here, you had some guineas that had gotten out.
Yes.
So you have a very diverse culture of plant growth here. But what about your animal growth?
Yeah, we have guinea fowl, as you mentioned, chickens, ducks,
And a kitty cat?
cats. We have 3 cats, goats, fish, bees, and wildlife, birds, raccoons, foxes, coyotes, snakes, turtles, all of those. Yeah.
Okay, so you have all of those, but you also have a very big fence.
Yes.
So what are you keeping? Are you keeping them in or are you keeping them out?
Mostly to keep deer away.
Deer, okay.
Because they will come and have a feast here with all the different
Yes, they would.
foods. Yeah. So here they are harvesting.
Okay.
So Jafeti is harvesting sweet potatoes.
Oh, my favorite.
Yeah.
Are you keeping count? Yeah. How many do you have so far? A lot.
Yeah. We have been harvesting. This is the 3rd bed, and we still have one more to go.
We at our home base, we tried to plant sweet potatoes this year. We did not know how much ground cover they took, and they took almost the entire garden.
Yeah.
We were like, oh.
But you could eat the tops.
You can.
Oh yeah, they're delicious and
What do you put them in?
full
Just
of
on the
nutrients. You could, or you could saute them or soups. Yeah,
Oh my.
Yeah,
I
they're
had no idea.
they're really, really good for you.
That's awesome. I don't want to disturb his work,
Okay.
so I'll just let him get back to work. But that's just one of your employees that you have here.
Yes, this is Jafeti. So, and this guy here is Aidan.
Aidan. Hi, Aidan.
And
He was saying, well, yeah, what about Aidan?
Oh, yeah, talk to Aidan. Hi, Aidan. How long have you been working here?
Been working here for about 5 months.
Okay, and you're enjoying it?
Yeah, I really am.
Yeah?
It's been a really cool season. We've gotten to do a lot of really cool stuff that I'm sure the guys have been talking about.
Yeah.
The workshop that we did, and we had third graders come in for
Oh, that's fun.
a series of field trips, which was very fun. So,
Nice. What brings you here?
I've just been farming since high school.
Okay.
And I ended up moving to Bloomington, and this was really one of the only farms I could find that really integrated a lot of the stuff that I care about.
Okay. Like what?
I mean, just community involvement in
Right.
permaculture.
Okay.
And yeah, just nourishing regenerative things.
Yeah.
You know, not just taking a lot, but giving a lot too.
Yeah, absolutely. So how do you feel then? Obviously, you are enjoying the work that you're doing here, but how do you feel about what Juan Carlos and Robert are doing for their people, the people that they employ and the refugees that they hire? How do you feel about that?
Well, I feel like, you know, especially for, you know, me, it's a lot easier for me to find a job. You know, I have a car, I can speak English.
Right.
Whereas my friends here from the Congo and from Syria, they don't have cars, they don't really speak English that well. And
Yeah.
so without the opportunity that they've provided them, and, you know, they just came here to America, their whole life was kind of uprooted.
Yeah.
And now they have an opportunity to work, and not just work at a place that's, you know, because I feel like a lot of places might take advantage of that situation, but here they're really provided for, and, you know, they get rides, and, you know, there's a lot of resources here.
Yeah.
The
It was
guys,
like a community.
yeah, and the guys really want to like empower them to kind of be strong and find their own footing here in this country, and, you know, give them the support that they need while they're here, which I feel like is very special, and not many places want to do that. You know, they instead just want to turn a profit. And, but here it's, you know, it's all factors. It's the people who work, it's the animals, it's all the plants. It's all very, a lot of symbiosis, you know.
A lot of symbiosis, a lot of diversification I'm hearing, and a lot of ecology and a lot of symbiosis. 3 very powerful words. So that's awesome. Well, I don't want to interrupt your work. I know you've got things to do, but thank you for talking with me today.
This was another project we just finished this year.
Oh yeah.
Yeah?
Was with the help of the NRCS in creating a compost facility.
Okay.
So in January they came, and the work crew, and laid the foundation, poured the concrete walls, created this building for us. Of course, there was a lot of planning, you know, ahead of time.
Right.
It was all part also of the EQIP with the roofing, the drainage. We got tanks also through assistance from the Soil and Water Conservation District. They're often very helpful in trying to encourage farmers, you know, to put in systems so that they can do rainwater catchment.
Oh, yeah.
And so we've developed a very good relationship with them here locally, work with them on a regular basis to help with hosting field trips, hosting other events that we've had here. And the final thing we want to do on the building was, we had this idea, we want to create a mural of soil microbes.
And that's
That's what these are. We hired a muralist who had done a few other projects in Indiana, and had to sort of acclimate him to the idea that we only wanted microbes that were actually in the soil. It was a learning curve. Juan Carlos guided him carefully through that. And so here we are. It's a finished project. Now we're just sort of putting a skirt around the building with gravel. It's another learning tool for the kids, and really for adults, because normally to see microbes you'd have to have a microscope.
Yeah.
And we can't always have access to those when we have the school trips or workshops here. But look, here they are. You can stand at a distance and still see what the microbes look like, and
What
all
a
the
great
beautiful colors they are.
Yeah, what a great idea that was. So this will eventually be just full of compost
Well,
or both?
it is we call it like the kitchen because
Okay.
that's where we make our fertilizers and teas.
Oh,
The inputs are made here.
your inputs.
So
here.
this pile is raw right now being in developed. All those blue containers or barrels, they have different teas that we use here
Okay.
in the farm for the plants and the soil.
What do you use these teas for? Just for fertilizer or in a specific place?
Foliar, some of those foliar sprayers, and also on direct application
Okay.
to the soil. Yeah,
Okay. Cool.
yeah. So this one is called Bokashi.
This is called what?
Bokashi.
Bokashi?
Hmm.
Okay.
And here are some of the microbes that we reproduce. We take microorganisms from the forest and reproduce them here.
Okay.
Let's see. Yeah, that's one there. You could smell it.
Oh, that smells so good.
Hmm.
Oh man. That smells really
Yeah.
good. I know I'm a little hungry.
So those are all fermented. We work with a lot with fermentation. Yeah.
So you have to leave soon, and I want to be respectful of your time, but you seem to be very knowledgeable about the grant process and additional funding sources. Can you tell me a little bit about how you found that information, why you think it's so important, and maybe just a little bit of advice on how somebody else could do that too?
Sure. Yeah, I think that, one of our things that we brought with us from past experience was having worked with the National Wildlife Federation as volunteers. We did this backyard habitat program that was very popular for many years
Okay.
through PBS channel
Okay.
with David Majewski. We learned through that experience was that we had to have collaborations with other organizations who had similar beliefs and goals in mind in the location where you are. And with that sort of a collaboration, you could achieve a lot more together. And
Absolutely.
one has an audience you don't have, the other one has a skill that you don't have, or has access to materials, to things that could be beneficial for everyone involved. So
Right.
we learn the value of collaboration, and through collaboration, you build relationships.
Right.
And relationships as a beginning farmer are really critical.
They are, but can you say a little bit
Yeah,
as to
because
why?
all the books you read, when you first start as a beginning farmer, and the magazines that are out there, Urban Farmer, Grit, etc., all of those have very good, short, brief articles that target a specific thing on a farm. But what they often overlook is this idea of creating these collaborations, these relationships with other people in the community that can help you achieve what you need to do and help them spend their money, because they have goals in mind that they have to utilize the funds for, that they've been given by the county, by the state,
Right.
by the USDA. You have a good relationship with them, they'll help you, you end up helping them. You can then host events at your farm, receive funding for that from that organization. They can help you with rain barrels, the purchasing of rainwater collection systems, lots of expertise, bringing in an engineer that you wouldn't have access to unless you paid for it.
Right.
So there's a myriad of benefits that you can access. And certainly grants are one of them. So starting with that sort of those mini grants that are out there that are very easy to apply for so you don't feel overwhelmed.
Okay.
Those come from Soil and Water Conservation District. They're small, but it's a one-page grant, It's very short and brief. So you develop that sort of confidence early on. I'm going to target a small grant. And then through that relationship, you learn about others that are out there, other grants that maybe require a little more finesse,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe someone else can help you with that that's in that business. and guide you through it. So you just keep building upon that grant experience. Your confidence grows as
Yeah.
you see that, yeah, I can get help from these other entities in the community around me and make this work for us on
Yeah.
the farm.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna be respectful of your time. So thank you so much. It was so nice meeting you. There's so much to do and see and talk about here, so I'm sure we'll be back. But I hope you have a good rest of the week.
Thank you.
Thanks. Love this little building. What is this building?
The tool shed,
That's your tool shed.
and above there is a small apartment where the woofers stay.
The who?
Woofers,
The roofers?
woofers.
Roofers. Oh,
You know the WWOOF program?
no.
It's a volunteer program,
Okay.
and so we used to have. Right now we are not that open to have them because it's a lot of work for us, but it's an international organization.
Okay.
The name is WWOOF.
Woo. Like a dog says, "Whoa," right?
Yeah,
Okay.
it sounds very similar. That's true. And so it's great. We had before volunteers from Japan, Germany, Brazil,
Okay.
from the States, and I'm missing more. But yeah, it's a good way to connect farmers with volunteers that are interested in farming and learning from it.
So you provide housing for the
Yes.
tool shed.
Yeah.
Very cool. So you do have, we talked a little bit about your livestock before we go to the
Yes.
greenhouse.
Yeah.
So you do have some chickens.
Chickens. Yeah. The top wire is hot. So
Okay.
we have chickens on a moat system. So it's all that moat is all around the west market garden.
Okay.
And so they help with some insects.
Mm-hmm.
They provide nitrogen too.
Yep.
And we remove that soil around once or twice a year and use it for the Bokashi.
Okay.
So it's already inoculated with good stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Now, these are egg-laying chickens. Do you
Yes.
have eggs? We talked on the phone that it was more of a vegan farm. So,
Yeah. Yes. So yeah, we provide eggs. We sell the eggs. Yeah.
okay, very
Yeah.
cool.
We don't eat the animals though,
You don't eat the animals,
No.
though. Okay.
and they are not for meat. So
Okay. Very
they're part of the system. We said they are workers too, and we don't eat the workers. So
well, I guess that's good too.
yes.
You don't want to eat your help.
Yeah.
And you have ducks as
We
well.
have ducks. Yeah.
Okay.
We have different kinds of
I
ducks.
see. Oh, some ducklings.
And some that left. She had 8, but somebody's coming at night and getting the babies. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. That's sad.
yeah.
So yeah, this is the hoop house.
Okay.
So you see more flowers
I
here.
do.
Yeah. This is Japanese ginger, Myoga, it's called.
Japanese ginger.
Mhm.
Okay.
And it's very good. It's medicinal. We use it for that.
Okay. Medicinal how?
So you eat the bud of the flowers. So right now it's blooming. You see the flowers there?
Where?
Those
Oh.
are the flowers.
Right there. Okay. So you eat the flower.
Before they open, and it has like kind of a spicy
Okay.
spiciness, and also similar to onion, the taste. So they're very good. And
Do
you
they
use it
have
for
like
cooking.
beneficial health properties? Or?
Uh,
What
good
is
for
that?
digestion and also for the brain memory.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So this is the West Market Garden.
Okay. And this is the moat that you have
Yeah,
the chickens
this
with.
is the moat. Yeah,
Yep.
see? Right here. So go all the way around.
Okay.
So and this is the hoop house.
Wow.
So we have some perennials too. That's lavender,
Ooh.
thyme.
Smells amazing in here.
That's good, yeah, and it's cozy right now. So you see the same idea. It's all interplanted with different things. Yeah,
Do you use this year round?
yes.
You do. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, in winter we harvest. So all of these are going to be the first food for the CSA in March. We start in March, yeah. And
Very cool. I should not have come here hungry. I just want to eat everything off the vine.
So this is sage that is also perennial.
Love
Uh,
sage. Some onions. So let's see, you've got some onions going to seed. Do you collect those seeds?
we collect seeds. So
Okay.
yeah, this is fennel, and yeah, we use some people don't allow the plants to bolt or go to seed. We do want that
Okay.
because also the flowers, those are lettuce right there.
Ah.
I mean, the flowers allow also insects to come here to the hoop house.
Oh, yes.
And also the seeds, some we collect, others they go down, and so we have volunteers.
Okay.
And those volunteers are the best because they're already adapted.
Yeah.
So we just move them wherever we want to plant them.
Okay. And you're planting directly in the ground too. You're not in
Yes.
raised beds or in external beds.
Yeah. So, and that's the greenhouse where we have the tropicals.
Okay. Oh, let's see that.
Yes.
Yes.
Let's go there.
Now I know we're going to see tropics, but can you tell me what this big tree is?
Oh, this is a banana tree. We have different bananas. They won't give you fruit, but
Okay.
they might give you flowers, and you could eat the flowers too.
Really? Okay. So no fruit because it's just not hot enough.
Because of the seasons. Yeah, when they will be ready, winter is here, so they will die down,
I see.
but they will come back after the spring. So you could use the leaves too for cooking,
Really?
but our idea is to use them for biomass.
Okay.
They're good with potassium, and those big trunks are full of water. So when you chop them in around, you get good nutrients from them too,
Okay.
when they decompose.
Very cool.
Yeah. And here is the greenhouse now with some of the plants. Those we keep outside in the late spring, summer, but now it's time to come
Okay.
inside.
So what all do you have in here then?
Oh,
A lot?
yeah. So that's bay leaf. These are papayas. That's a ground cherry from Colombia.
Okay.
And these are from Brazil, pitangas. Those are
Pitangas?
pitangas. Yeah.
Pitangas.
With P, like Peter.
P?
Pitanga.
Pitanga. Okay.
What else we have? More papayas. That they have baby papayas there, if you see in the top.
Oh, now I see them.
Yeah. Here is where curing the sweet potatoes.
Okay.
This is an avocado tree.
An avocado tree.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool.
This is on the pawpaw family, Soursop.
It's a pawpaw?
It's like a cousin. This is from South America.
Okay.
But pawpaws are the only, believe, tropical tree here in the northern part of the continent. So,
Gotcha.
and these are from the south. These are citruses.
They are what?
Citruses.
Citrus
So, lemons. This is an orange. And that's a banana that produce fruit.
Okay.
Yeah, here they can do it. And
It's just one tree. So
This
you
is
probably
only
don't get
one.
many bananas off of it. So
Oh,
they're just for you.
oh no, the cluster, they have many.
Really?
Yeah.
So you get to sell those then?
We didn't.
You eat them? Yeah. I
did.
probably would too.
We did. If we have several, of course, we will sell them. But yeah,
Okay.
it was only one cluster.
Where do you get all of these tropical trees that are out of the country? Do
Yeah,
you
so-
have them shipped or do people bring them to you?
No, some people give them to us.
They
Yeah.
do.
So all of these pots were outside.
Okay.
More sweet potatoes. This is where we started sweet potatoes.
You start them in here.
Yeah.
Okay.
And later, when the time is ready, we cut the little tops with roots, and we bring those outside.
Okay. Very cool. I could at least walk around your farm for probably 15 years and still have questions about what you have going on. So a lot of words have come up, but the ones that stick out to me, the first one is diversification.
Yes.
The second one is ecological. The third one is community. So you do a lot within those three words. Is there anything you see on this farm that you're like, this is my number one reason of why I'm here? The number one reason that keeps you here every single day?
That's a good question and a tough question, Olivia. I mean, it sounds cheesy, but life. I mean, this is so full of life. Here, everywhere you see is something growing or thriving, and life with all the implications. You know, it's not all fairy tale. You see death, you see diseases, many things, but at least makes you feel that you're part of the whole thing. And I think that's important for me and for Robert too.
Yeah. Okay. If somebody is in the area, in the Bloomington area, and they want to come and see the farm or buy something from you or just get to know you a little bit better, where do they go? How do they do that?
Okay, so we have a market on Sundays through the season. We have a CSA if they want to buy from us. And if they want to come and see the farm, they could email or they could call or find us on Instagram, Facebook.
Okay.
And we're always happy to show the farm to people because we are, growing and developing this place for the community to see it. Yeah.
I love that. Well, you are doing just so many amazing, great things for the land that you're on, your community, the people that you employ, yourself. I just want to thank you again for having us out here. And I can tell you right now, I know we'll be back in some capacity because we just could not hit it all today. So thank you again. I appreciate it. It was so nice officially meeting you. And I just can't wait to see where you guys go in the future and what other innovative things that you come up with to solve problems.
Okay.
Thank you, Juan Carlos.
Thank you, Lydia.